You know what's frustrating? It's not that people don't have dreams. Most people do. They want to get in shape, start a business, learn a new skill, improve their relationships, or finally become the person they've always imagined themselves to be. The real problem is that they spend more time thinking about changing their lives than actually changing them. Maybe you've done this too. You've planned everything in your head. You've told yourself that you'll start on Monday, next month, or when you finally feel ready. But somehow, that moment never arrives. And over time, something even more dangerous happens. You begin to lose trust in yourself. Every promise you break to yourself becomes another reason to believe that maybe you're just not disciplined enough, motivated enough, or capable enough. But what if that's not the real problem? What if the reason you never take action has nothing to do with laziness? Because the truth is, some of the smartest and most ambitious people in the world struggle with this exact issue. They know what to do, but they don't do it. They wait for the perfect plan, the perfect opportunity, the perfect mindset. But while they're waiting, life keeps moving. Opportunities disappear. Time passes. And another year goes by with the same goals still sitting on a list that never becomes reality. The Stoics understood something that most people never realize. The biggest enemy of progress isn't failure. It's hesitation. It's constantly preparing without beginning. It's convincing yourself that tomorrow will somehow be different while repeating the same habits every single day. And if you don't understand what's truly keeping you stuck, you could spend years watching other people build the life you wanted for yourself. In this video, we're going to uncover the hidden reasons, why you never take action, why overthinking quietly destroys potential, and most importantly, how Stoic wisdom can help you finally break free from the cycle that's been holding you back. Because one of these lessons might reveal something about yourself that you've never noticed before. So make sure you stay until the end. And if you're serious about building discipline, developing mental strength, and learning timeless Stoic principles to create real change in your life, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more content like this. Now, let's discover why you keep thinking about the life you want, but never actually start building it. The first reason you never take action is surprisingly simple. You've convinced yourself that you need to feel ready before you begin. It sounds logical. After all, who wants to start something important feeling uncertain or unprepared? So you wait. You tell yourself you'll begin once you have more confidence, more motivation, more knowledge, or a better plan. But here's what most people don't realize. Readiness is often an illusion. The people you admire weren't completely ready when they started either. They just took the first step despite the uncertainty. The Stoics believe that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting in spite of it. Because if you wait until you feel completely confident, you may spend your entire life waiting. And here's where things become dangerous. Every time you delay taking action, your brain receives a message. Avoiding discomfort is safer than growth. Over time, this becomes a habit. Not a habit of action, but a habit of postponement. You start becoming someone who thinks about doing things rather than someone who actually does them. This isn't because you're weak. It's because your mind naturally seeks comfort and avoids uncertainty. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that growth requires voluntary discomfort. Discipline is choosing what benefits your future self, even when your present self doesn't feel like doing it. The second reason you struggle to take action is overthinking. You analyze every possible outcome. You imagine every mistake you could make. You search for the perfect strategy. But perfectionism often disguises itself as productivity. It makes you feel like you're making progress when, in reality, you're standing still. Think about how many opportunities you've delayed because you wanted everything to be perfect. The perfect time, the perfect circumstances, the perfect version of yourself. But perfection doesn't exist. And while you're waiting for perfection, life keeps moving forward without you. The Stoics had a different approach. They focused on what they could control in the present moment. Not every possible future outcome, just the next action. Because clarity doesn't come from endless thinking. Clarity comes from doing. You don't become confident and then take action. You take action, and confidence develops along the way. Every small step teaches you something that thinking alone never could. So here's something important to understand. You don't need to see the entire staircase to take the first step. You only need enough courage to begin. Because the person you want to become isn't built through intentions. They're built through repeated actions, especially on the days when you don't feel motivated. And what we're about to discuss next might be the biggest reason people remain stuck for years without even realizing it. The third reason you never take action is something that quietly destroys more dreams than failure ever could. Fear of judgment. You worry about what other people might think if you fail. What if they laugh? What if they criticize you? What if you disappoint the people around you? So instead of risking embarrassment, you choose safety. You stay where you are because staying the same feels less painful than being judged. But here's the truth most people eventually learn. People will have opinions no matter what you do. If you try, some people will criticize you. If you never try, you'll criticize yourself. And between those two options, disappointing yourself is far more painful. The Stoics understood that other people's opinions are outside of your control. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that seeking approval from everyone is a losing game, because the moment you allow other people's expectations to control your decisions, you stop living your life and start performing for an audience that will never be fully satisfied. The question isn't whether people will judge you. The real question is, are you willing to sacrifice your future just to avoid temporary discomfort? And then there's another trap that keeps people stuck for years: the addiction to motivation. Many people believe they need to feel inspired before they can take action. They wait for that burst of energy, that perfect mood, that moment when everything suddenly feels easy. But motivation is unreliable. Some days you'll have it, many days you won't. If your actions depend on motivation, your progress will always be inconsistent. The Stoics relied on something much stronger: discipline. Discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. It means understanding that your feelings are temporary, but your actions shape your future. The people who achieve extraordinary things aren't necessarily more motivated than everyone else. They've simply learned not to negotiate with themselves every single day. Think about it. How many times have you said, "I'll do it tomorrow"? How many tomorrows have already passed? How many opportunities have quietly disappeared while you were waiting for the right feeling to arrive? This isn't meant to make you feel guilty. It's meant to wake you up, because if nothing changes, 1 year from now you'll likely be facing the exact same frustrations you're facing today. But here's the good news. Awareness changes everything. The fact that you're recognizing these patterns means you can also change them. You don't need to transform your entire life overnight. You don't need perfect discipline starting tomorrow morning. You only need to make one different choice, one action, one step forward. Because momentum doesn't begin with giant leaps. It begins with small decisions repeated consistently. And what we're about to discuss next may be the most important Stoic lesson of all. The mindset shift that can finally help you stop waiting for life to happen and start creating it yourself. The most important Stoic lesson is this: stop focusing on the outcome and start focusing on the action in front of you. One of the biggest reasons people never begin is because they're overwhelmed by everything they think needs to happen. They think about the months of hard work ahead. They think about all the things that could go wrong. They think about how far away success seems to be. And eventually, the weight of the entire journey becomes so heavy that they never take the first step. But the Stoics approached life differently. They asked themselves a simple question: what is within my control right now? Not next month, not next year, right now. Because you can't control how quickly results will come. You can't control how other people respond. You can't control whether the journey will be easy or difficult. But you can control whether you take action today. This is where everything begins to change. Instead of asking yourself, how do I achieve this huge goal? Ask yourself, what's the next small action I can take? Maybe it's exercising for 10 minutes. Maybe it's working on your project for 30 minutes. Maybe it's making the phone call you've been avoiding. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to happen, because action creates momentum, and momentum creates belief. Every small promise you keep to yourself rebuilds the trust you've lost in yourself over the years. Remember, the goal isn't to become a completely different person overnight. That's another trap that causes people to quit. The goal is to become slightly better than you were yesterday. The Stoics believe that excellence isn't achieved through dramatic moments of inspiration. It's built through small, consistent actions repeated over time. The person you admire didn't become disciplined in a single day. They simply refused to stop showing up. And here's something you need to hear. You don't need more motivation. You need more evidence that you can trust yourself. Every time you do what you said you were going to do, even when you don't feel like it, you prove to yourself that you're capable of change. That's how confidence is built. Not by thinking about becoming confident, but by acting despite uncertainty. So if you've been waiting for the perfect time to start, this is your reminder that it doesn't exist. If you've been waiting until you feel fearless, understand that courage comes after action, not before it. And if you've been telling yourself that you'll start tomorrow, remember that tomorrow has been stealing your potential for far too long. The truth is, your future isn't shaped by the goals you set. It's shaped by the actions you repeat every day. One small action today is worth more than 100 perfect plans that never leave your mind. The life you want is still possible. The discipline you admire can still be developed. The person you hope to become is still within reach. But none of it happens through wishing, waiting, or overthinking. It happens through action. So ask yourself honestly, what is one thing you've been postponing that you know would improve your life if you started today? Not next week, not when you feel ready. Today, because years from now, You won't regret the actions you took in pursuit of growth nearly as much as you'll regret the opportunities you never gave yourself the chance to pursue. The Stoics taught that we only truly own the present moment. And this moment, right now, is another opportunity to choose differently, to stop waiting, to stop overthinking, to stop watching your life from the sidelines. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to begin, because in the end, the difference between the people who transform their lives and the people who remain stuck often comes down to one decision. One group kept waiting for the perfect moment, while the other decided to start before they felt ready. The question is, which person will you choose to be? If this video resonated with you, don't just watch it and move on. Choose one thing you've been postponing, and commit to taking the first step today. Remember, your life changes the moment your actions start matching your intentions. And now, I want to hear from you. What's one goal you've been overthinking instead of taking action on? Let me know in the comments below. Writing it down could be the first step toward finally making it happen. If you found value in this video, and want more practical Stoic wisdom to help you build discipline, mental strength, and become the best version of yourself, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss future videos. Remember this, you don't need to feel ready. You don't need the perfect plan. You don't need more time. You only need the courage to take the next step, because your future isn't created by the intentions you have. It's created by the actions you take every single day. Stop waiting. Stop overthinking. Start building the life you know you're capable of creating. Thank you for watching, and until next time, think less, act more, and keep becoming stronger every single day.